Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fayetteville Public Utilities. We are in the studio this morning with our CEO, General Manager Britt Dye. Britt, it's 2025 and got a lot going on. We had a very successful 2024. I know we'll be looking back at some of that as we go. We've looked at back some, but we got a lot to look forward to in 2025.
Well, that's correct, Don. And, starting off the new year with cold weather.
Absolutely, and we had really, really cold weather. And when it gets this cold, it becomes a concern. And you had the department supervisors met with them. I think there's been some pictures on social media and also in the paper of where we met with them. You might want to tell everybody what you met with the guys about and how important it was to keep our utilities on.
Well, we meet with the supervisor of all departments on the operation part, and then we discuss everything that what we might have to do. If, you try to put things out there, if this happens, what are we going to do? Or if this happens, what are we going to do? If we had to shift loads or if we had to move gas or whatever it may be with water leaks. And right now we are experiencing some water leaks. And we figured that we would with the way the temperature changes, from freezing below freezing temperatures, and now we're going to be expecting mid-60s by the weekend. But we plan and be sure that we try to think of everything that we can think of, but there's always something that could happen that you just didn't plan to happen.
When temperatures are running around the zero mark, a loss of any of the utilities becomes life-threatening, and you have our essential employees in here monitoring the situation because it's very important for somebody to be at the helm ready to go.
Oh, that's correct. We kept a close eye on it with our dispatchers, looking at the screens all the time about our loads and also as far as what the pressure was on the gas side and tank levels on the water side. So, if I see something unexpectedly, then we start making calls and getting people where they need to be and try to handle every situation that we get handled.
Our electric demand was, I don't know if it's record high or not, but it was pretty high.
It's 122 megawatts, and that's the highest it's been in quite some time. Even though it got cold last year, we didn't pull 122 megawatts. That's just like with TVA pulled more this time as well. So it was quite a bit of load.
And then on our natural gas side, we had pretty big loads there as well.
Had some loads on the gas side too.
And the reason we have such a high water is because so many people are dripping faucets, so that puts another load on us as well. Yeah,
people dripping faucets and those kinds of things hit the system, on their part as far as no freezing pipes as well. But anytime that the ground starts freezing and then it starts to go into thawing, your pipes start moving. We got some old infrastructure out there, and we start having leaks. And so we were expecting some leaks. We just didn't know how bad. We know that we got one right now that we're trying to find. It's a pretty good leak, and seeing where it starts at to get it repaired.
And if anybody out there sees a wet spot or some kind of water standing somewhere, let us know, because we are looking for leaks, and leaks cost us money, and it's something that you're trying your best to lower as much as you can.
Yeah, and some size leaks also causes pressure problems.
Right.
So, we try to prevent that too. So, if you see something, we can test it, see if it's got any chlorine in it. Sometimes, if you have a lot of water, it could be groundwater too, but we will check it and see to make sure that we do not have a problem.
That's right, 433-1522. If you have any water pressure problems as well, let us know, and that may help us find a leak. And when you have these kind of issues, cold temperatures, high usage, of course, it comes with high bills and higher energy cost, and there's all kinds of things that's out there to help people. But the bottom line is we want to let people know you might as well get ready. The colder it is, the higher your bill is going to be.
The bills are going to be high. We know that people are very concerned about their high bills, and all I ask is, if you need help with your bills, if you need to talk about your bills, and because we can get a lot more information that you may need to see if you have a problem, because we have had customers that's got heat pump problems. We have customers that the heat strips cut on and stay on and those kinds of things. So check it all out and make sure that you haven't got a problem, because some of the ones that we have looked up so far that has called in worried about their bills, we did some checking. We told them what they need to do, and some of them have found out that they've had a bad heat pump. Heat strips are staying on way too long, and it would be nice, to discuss that. Come in, let's talk about it. Let's see what you're running. We can send people out in the field to be sure that we do not have a problem, or if we might help you find that you have a problem. So, plus TVA increased their rates again October 1 at 5.25%. So keep that in mind too. So if your bills are higher, you had a rate increase via TVA. And so if you need to come in and talk about it, discuss your bills, we know that we're going to have some that's got some really high bills that we can help set up a plan to help them get their bills paid. But, it's high now. Next bill is going to probably be higher. So we had some cold days, and you're going to see it on your bill.
Absolutely. Sometimes a high bill will tell you that you have a problem with a unit, or even with a hot water heater, or all kinds of things like that. There are some things that we can do to help you. One is the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, LIHEAP. That's through South Central Human Resources Resource Agency, and that's at 433-7182. You can call out there. They can help you, and they will pay the energy cost, or portion of it, directly to FPU. Also, Project Help, a lot of us put a couple of dollars a month in that there to help them folks out. That's with Good Samaritan. Their number's 433-0260, or you can go over there in person at the Ralph Hastings Building at 208 Davison Street West. Their hours are Monday through Wednesday from 9 until noon. Also, budget billing. This is the best one, I think, for a lot of folks who don't like these surprise bills. It kind of levels out the billing, and that's been around for a long time, and you can call us here at 433-1522 and get set up on that. And I think that's a good program for those who don't like these major peaks.
That's right. And, like I said, you can come in and make arrangements, and we'll sit down and work things out as best we can.
Absolutely. One thing that we see a lot of people doing now these days is solar and generator installation. And if you are considering solar or generator installation at your home, we ask you to please contact us first, Britt, before I even go into the rest of it. You might talk about the reasons behind that. We're not trying to get in your business, really. You're trying to make sure that there's no back feed down the line that would hurt some of your employees.
Right. That's just like with an emergency generator and those kinds of things. It's got to be inspected by the state. It's got to be passed. It's got to meet all the requirements that the state requires, as well as what FPU requires. And the worst thing that could happen is we get somebody hurt that's out there working.
That's right. And because a generator or even solar can send electricity back down the lines and could hurt our guys. You can also, like you said, the state certified inspector will have to take care of that. But if you're interested in doing that, we can help you, or at least get some information to you about solar and generator installation. 433-1522, and we'll help you there. Broadband, and we want to talk about that as we continue to build across the county. We're going to have the county completely served before we get out of here, Britt.
Well, I hope so. I hope so.
That's a big undertaking. We wouldn't have thought that would ever happen, but we're getting closer.
As far as broadband out in the rural community, with the state helping, with these grants and those kinds of things, it's helped out tremendously to get broadband service to a lot of our customers. And, the goal was that nobody should be without the opportunity to have broadband, and we're trying to help that where we can with the grant funds. A lot of restrictions on the grant funds. You can't build where there's another provider and those kinds of things. But we've hooked up a lot of customers and continuing to hook up customers in the rural areas of the county, and we hope to continue to be able to do that.
Yeah, building every day, and I was out yesterday, and they were building a lot of line, and so we're going to get to you before you know it, for sure. One thing that we have, too, is a very cost-effective telephone system that you can get. If you're an FPU Internet customer, you can sign up for affordable digital phone service, which FPU uses the FPU Internet for that, and it'll help you make and receive calls. It's a really good system, and it's a much, much lower cost. You'd be surprised that, and it comes with caller ID, call waiting, just like any other phone system. So if you're interested in that, look into it, because it could save you some serious money. Tree trimming, Britt, that's something that you're very aggressive with, and it's one of those things you have to keep the trees back out of the lines, not only for just electricity, but for all the other services going down the lines.
No, that's correct, Don. As well, it's a safety issue too. If you have trees up in the line, you got kids. They're bad about climbing trees and those kinds of things. So we try to be safe and do a good program, of being aggressive, of trimming the trees back away from the power lines. I even hate to bring this up, but, one of our ice storms was in February.
That's true.
And we're fixing to go into February. You got 70-degree weather. There's nothing that says that things can't change. We do not want an ice storm, but, trimming trees, just like it has with the wind that we've been having with some of these thunderstorms, has helped out tremendously, where our customers would work with us to cut those trees back, and that's what we're trying to do, is open up more of a right-of-way to keep the lights on.
Absolutely, and it's very important if you see a tree limb that's close to the line, we would like to know about it. So, we have how many miles of line you have to concentrate on.
We're over 2,000 miles of line now.
So it's a very tough situation to keep up with all of it, and sometimes one thing about trees, they grow very, very fast.
Yes, and anybody that's got a lot of trees, and you'll notice that all your ash trees are going through a dying stage right now because of a beetle or something that got in there, and all of them are dying, and it's causing us a lot of problems falling out of the woods. And we're trying to get all the danger trees as we come through and cutting our right-of-ways.
Absolutely, very important to let us know if you have any problems there. One thing too is we deal with every day is call before you dig. 811 at least 3 days prior to any digging. And that's very important because you could get into something. We have about as much above ground as we do below, but we have a lot below ground.
We do, and it might be a new location where you moved into, but it's always good to call. It doesn't cost anything for you to call to get everything located, and we're having a lot of those that are not calling and digging up the infrastructure that's under the ground, and it is a charge if we have to come out and fix it, whether it be fiber, gas, or electric or anything like that. And we have to charge for those services, and fiber splicing, or depending on what size gas or water, it could be very costly to the customer.
Call before you dig, out of sight, out of mind, but you need to be really careful no matter what you're doing underground, because sometimes we just totally forget what we put under there and what was done there. One other thing we want to tell everybody to do is when they go to our website, go to the natural gas survey. We appreciate you letting us know. It's real short, 4 or 5 questions, and it helps us out because we do everything we can to let people know to dial 811 and the smell of natural gas and the rotten egg smell. If you smell that, we need to know about that as well. Move over law, Britt. We deal with that a lot. We want to keep our employees safe, not only our linemen, but any of the guys working on the side of the road.
Yeah, and we put up road signs, we put up cones, and sometimes we have people that's out directing traffic, but we have found out that, if you're not paying attention, we can do everything we can do to make it right, but we still get things damaged and we get people run over. That's just like patching holes in the streets. We put up signs and cones, and we have somebody run right through the concrete that we just poured by not paying attention to what's going on. And, it very easily could have been a body.
That's right.
And we don't want that to happen.
Yeah, distractions are very, very bad. I guess there's not a week goes by that somebody don't take a pole down or something. And fortunately, we hadn't had anybody in a long, long time get hit, but it could easily happen. Our guys are focused on their jobs, whether it's in the hole or on the pole. They have to be very careful, and sometimes they're focused on their job and not watching the car, and it's hard to keep up with everybody, what's going on.
Right, and we get a lot of help out of the city police department. We get a lot of help out of the Lincoln County Sheriff's Department when they can, but it's not where they can always turn somebody loose to give us a hand, of doing things. And sometimes some of these poles that are broke, most of them are on a major street or a highway or something like that where a lot of traffic, is going up and down the roads. And, just pay attention if you see some utility trucks of any kind or anybody out there working on the road that's got the right to be there working on the road, and, just pay attention.
One thing that you see our guys doing a lot is working on, the street, the signs, the stop signs and the green lights and all the things down. I know that's run by the city, but we maintain it, and our guys, it's a very dangerous operation as they did a lot of work right there at the main intersection there at Walgreens.
That's right there at the River Bridge, and there's going to be some more work that's got to be done on the traffic lights, but it's just like as well as the city trucks and all that's working out there on the side of the road too. You're supposed to move over and protect everybody, and just again, all I ask is just pay attention.
That's right, very important. The February edition of the Tennessee Magazine will be out soon. Check your mailboxes. If you don't get a magazine, let us know. Call us at 433-1522. But if you get multiples, we'd like to know that too, so we don't waste our money with the magazines. The magazine's been around a long time. It's got a new design. Is that out right? New design coming out? Yeah, new design's coming out. So anyway, so it's we have a section in there. Britt has a little column in there each month, and also we have a section in the center that lets you know about what we're doing here at FPU.
Right, and that's a good time we'll be putting up our digital sign out front to communicate with the public as well, let them know what's going on at FPU. That's coming. We're just running a little behind on that. We're supposed to done it like middle of the year, but we're just now getting started on that to communicate. And, again, I can't stress enough with the bills. I know they're going to be high, but feel free to come in and talk about it, and we'll be glad to listen to you and see if we can help figure out what we need to get done.
And check our social media out. We continue to keep that updated with ways to save, and also our website has information on there as well. So we want you to go there, and our sign will be telling you what's all going on around here, and so and also give you some ideas of what to do, who to call and that kind of thing. One other thing we'd like to talk about is the Washington Youth Tour short story writing contest. Presentations are being given to all three of the schools. This program's been a long time. It gives the local students an opportunity for an expense-paid trip to Washington, D.C. If you have any questions about the writing contest, give us a call, 433-1522. It's for high school juniors, and so, Britt, you've been around that a long time, and it's a good program as well.
It's a very good program, for kids to have an opportunity to get to go to Washington, D.C., experience a lot of things, and, we hope it's another good trip.
I hope so, too. 2010, Britt, we put together 75 years of lot, with it being, as we started opening up the show, 2025, it's the 90th anniversary of electricity, 90 years old. That's a big, big deal.
That's a big deal, and we're working with TVA to have some type of a celebration, we hope, of, recognizing 90 years, and that's a long time.
It is a long time, and we're proud of every year. In our 75th year, we talked about how the city of Fayetteville had some electricity, but it wasn't out in the rural areas. It's almost like a deja vu with the internet. The city had it, now the county's going to get it, and, and we're getting there. We're getting closer there. But anyway, it actually came in through Ardmore and up to Blanche, I think, is kind of where it started.
Yeah, and it's just a new thing with like broadband. I haven't never seen anything change as fast as new technology, whether it be fiber, and the way your TVs used to be and where you are today, and this younger generation working with the older generation, even here at work, of coming up with good ideas to make changes of what new technology brings on, and we want to be sure that we're prepared to do that.
And when you think about 90 years, we have seen a lot of technology, but 90 years ago, it wasn't that there's many people probably listening and watching who remembers a day when there weren't electricity, and I can't imagine not having electricity. I don't know how in the world they stayed warm and lived their lives, but that really wasn't all that long ago. My mother remembers when there was no power, and our grandparents probably had no power at all.
Well, there's one thing for sure. They didn't have a high utility bill.
That's true. They didn't have to worry about that. But unfortunately, or fortunately, we can stay warm today, and with a click of a button, and it does cost, and that's just kind of par for the course.
Well, the services, we don't have any choice. We have to provide, and we do everything we can to provide, whether it be electric, water, sewer, broadband, or gas. And, our employees are very dedicated, and we have some very, very good customers that appreciates everything that we do. And, that's what we got to do is provide, and that's what we're here for, to provide. It's not cheap anymore like what it used to be, but cost keeps going up. Like I said, TVA had a 5.25% rate increase 1st of October. That's a lot of what the increase is on the bills this time, because when the energy charge goes up, the fuel cost goes up, and that's a pass-through FPU from TVA. But again, if you have a hard time understanding your bill, if you think you might have a problem, come in, we'll sit down, we'll discuss it. We'll send people out in the field if we need to help you find a problem or not. So just please let us know.
We got a lot of people here who can help you out big time. We've got a really good crew of people who understands that. So we'll be glad to help you any way we can. And looking forward to our 90th year. We'll be celebrating that pretty much all year long. And you just stay tuned for more information about the FPU history as we start talking about 90 years of electricity. Anything else before we go, Britt?
No, just appreciate the customers. Appreciate the dedicated employees, because we were here round the clock just about the whole time during all the winter weather events for all utility services. And like I said, they're dedicated and they're dependable, and we're going to do everything we can to keep your service is on. CEO General Manager Britt Dye was on a program this morning as we talk every month here for the FPU update. We will see you back in here in February, and we'll talk more about what's going on here around Fayetteville Public Utilities.